Hey everybody, it's Travis from Bugout Survival Training. Check us out at bugoutsurvivaltraining.com. Today we are going to talk about alternative forms of transportation as far as a bug out vehicle. Primarily bicycle, dirt bike or trail bike, and the four-wheeler. The bicycle would probably be my last choice. Reason for that being is that when you're on a bicycle, you're going to burn a lot more calories and you're going to require a lot more hydration. And as you can see here in Virginia and other parts of the East Coast, or out here in the East, a bicycle really isn't an option. Primarily a mountain bike. It can be pretty tough to back up in there. The dirt bike and the four-wheeler, it is doable, but you have to bob and weave a little bit, but it can be done. The other thing about a bicycle is it doesn't offer you any protection. You can go down and get hurt pretty quickly, pretty easily. It's very slick out here. A lot of mold, mildew, algae. It grows on the trees. It grows on the ground. And when you hit it, it's just like ice. It can be very slippery out here. So a bicycle really is an option. And if you're on a bike, or if you're on a mountain bike and you can't ride through it, you're gonna have to pick it up and throw it on your shoulder and walk it through a bad area. Well, the problem with that is that if you have a bug out bag on and you have saddle bags or bags on your bike, it's very heavy. And if you have to do that too many times, why even bother? And like I said, it's very easy to get hurt and injured. Dirt bike, trail bike. The bicycle wouldn't even be an option for me. Dirt bike, trail bike, that would probably be my second choice. One of the other problems that you run into out here as well is that we get a lot of rain and things get real muddy and things get pretty mucky really quick. And you only have one wheel for traction. And you can sink one pretty quickly out here if you're not careful. And when that happens, when it's having to struggle, your chances of breaking something, a chain, burning a piston, a valve, any of those things can really set you back, and then you're done. And once again, you don't have a lot of protection around you. You don't know what you're missing in life until you've been slapped in the face with a holly branch, or you've had the devil's claw, which is what they call it out here. It's a very ugly, nasty, spiny, prickly little plant that I can promise you will make you bleed. You hit one of those hits you in the legs, and any of those things can cause injury, cause you to bleed, and of course then you have to worry about infection, and that can be bad as well. So I wouldn't recommend either one of those two in a situation where it's very heavily wooded, where you got a lot of brush or a lot of obstacles. Can be pretty tough to do. My number one choice is a four-wheeler, and the reason I picked a four-wheeler over those other two is, well, it may be obvious to some, may not be for others. Number one, it's a much more stable platform than any of the other the other two-wheel options. This one has two-wheel and four-wheel drive. It can get you through just about anything, the mud and the muck, because you have all four wheels. This one has a selector on it. It can be two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, and it can be a little slow having to pick and weave your way through this type of environment, but it can be done. I do it all the time. It's really not that hard. And the other thing too is you have a lot of protection around you. You're surrounded by fenders. You got a place to rest your feet. You don't have to worry about so much about being injured. Those other things that we talked about, catching a stump on your foot, or catching a devil's claw. Any of those things can be a problem out here. We have a lot of vines out here too that have thorns on them. So any of those things can be really, really unpleasant. And with this one, you have something around you to where at least you're blocking, or you're protected, and you're surrounded by fenders and four wheels, where those other two options you really aren't. The other nice thing about this is the capacity in which you can carry. This one, you can carry 133 pounds of extra cargo and gear. on the back of it, and 66 pounds of extra cargo, equipment, gear on the front of it. Well, that's close to an extra 200 pounds in the world of survivability or survival, or whatever scenario you happen to be on. It's huge. It's a game changer. Think about the extra food, the extra water, the extra medical supplies. That's big. You can't. You can go a very, very long time before you have to gear up or get any more food. It would take a while for you to use all that, and you would be able to get where your location is a lot quicker, a lot faster, and you wouldn't be out of breath. You wouldn't be all wore out or tore up doing it. Pretty. For me, it was a real simple decision. The other thing is, this one has a 5-gallon tank. This one gets approximately 30 miles to the gallon, so that's about 150 miles on a tank full of gas. I really like this one. This is the Rancher, the Honda Rancher 420, and with that 30 miles to the gallon and the 150 miles of you can get out of a tank, but with the added capacity, the weight you can carry both front and back, 10 gallons of fuel weighs approximately 60, I think it's right at 63 pounds. That still gives you almost 140 pounds of other gear and cargo you can carry. Now, with those extra 10 gallons of gas that you can carry on this, whether it's GI cans or just a regular simple gas can, all of a sudden you're at 450 miles. Well, 450 miles from the location I'm at right here. I can be in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, I can be in the Carolinas, I can be in Tennessee, I can be any number of different places without having to stop and refuel, and I can just keep right on going. That's a lot of miles, and that's really what you want. You know, you want to be able to get to your location and as quickly as possible, and you can do that on one of these, you know, pretty easily. The other thing I really like about this is it's got 850 pounds of towing capacity, and with that 850 pounds, if you had someone that was injured or hurt, it would be a whole lot easier if you're pulling a trailer, or if you wanted to just make a sled. It would be pretty easy getting that injured person out of the woods and getting them someplace safe. You can't do that with a mountain bike or with a dirt bike. It would be next to impossible to do. So this is my number one option. This is my top pick. I've had this one for quite a few years. It's been a great four-wheeler. I've had no problems with it at all. I had one flat tire, and I didn't do that. My 16-year-old daughter Shelby did. That's the only thing I've had problems with. That's the only thing that's happened to it. It's never ever not started. It's not ever not ran really well. Change the oil in it, adjust your cables, make sure everything's lubed up, check your fluid levels, and it'll run a really, really long time. And the more you maintenance them, the more frequency you maintenance them, the less you're going to have to worry about maintenance when you're in a situation where you are going to use it for a bug out type vehicle. The other thing I want to say about Honda is, if you have it financed and you go through Honda Financial, I have to say this with all honesty, they are the nicest bunch of people to work with. Communication's the key. If you have a problem, if you have difficulty, they will work with you. As far as if you have a problem making the payment or anything, everything's going good, you lose your job, you get laid off, you miss work due to weather, Honda Financial will work with you. They're a great bunch of people, and just great to work with. This is Travis with Bugout Survival Training. Check us out at bugoutsurvivaltraining.com, and thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon, and stay safe. Always be prepared. Thank you.